Hello, it's Thursday, May 17th, 2018, and as of this recording, I'm still depressed, but I'm not dead. Nora is out of town again. I took her to the airport Tuesday morning, and I was a little worried about her leaving this time. It's pretty common, I've talked about it before, how I struggle more when she is not here, and this time is no different. Although, let me back up a little bit. So there's been times when she has left, and like the whole bottom of my world has fallen out, and I've just been in a horrible place when I wasn't quite, when I hadn't been in a horrible place before she left. So this past weekend, I spent a lot of time packing and purging and doing chores around the house, cut the grass, rake some leaves, things like that. And I think it helped me kind of get out of my funk from, my post-girls funk that I was in. So, I was trying to stay ahead of it, I guess. And Nora even mentioned that it seemed like I was trying to stay busy this weekend, which was true. She's very insightful. So she left Tuesday morning, like I said, and I had a little bit of work to do after I took her to the airport, so I did that. And I came home, and I was, driving home, I was thinking, okay, packing, there's still more packing to do. There's something I can do. I can purge something. I can go through all the cleaning chemicals down in the basement. Stuff like that. And I got in the house and realized that she wasn't there and she wasn't going to be there for 4 days. And I climbed right into bed and tried watching some TV, tried taking a nap. Nothing was happening. Tried to think of something to go do. I'd wanted to go to Target and get some new t-shirts. Woohoo, exciting, right? I did have some things to bring to Goodwill to donate. But no, that can wait till some other day. My Celtics were on TV last night, defeating the nefarious Cleveland Cavaliers. That's right. If you're a fan of the Cavs, they are nefarious. And, while I was watching it, I just was feeling more and more down to the point where I was ready to just turn the game off and go to bed. And I probably would have if Nora hadn't messaged me, and she was in Portland watching the game as well, and she was making some comments on it, and that was nice enough to keep me there watching the game. Today, Wednesday, as I'm recording, Thursday, this show will be going out. More of the same thing, though I did manage to walk and go get some bagels, partly because I hadn't eaten anything all day, so I did that, and now here I am at home talking to you guys. So we'll see how tonight goes. I have a DBSA meeting coming up this evening, which is good and bad, I guess. I don't feel like I walk away from there anymore feeling like I've gained something. But it is a routine, and routines are kind of important. So I'll be going to that, and we'll see how the rest of the day goes. And with that, let's get in and see how the rest of the show goes, huh? I got an email the other day through the website from someone who wanted to, this is how I took it, they wanted to come on the show and do a segment about how exercise cured what ailed them. They were depressed, and I don't have all the details, but essentially they were depressed. They got into exercise and it turned their life around, and they wanted to talk to you guys about how exercise can cure your depression. And I thank them for getting a hold of me, and I told them that I've tried really hard to not give out blanket statements like do this and you'll feel better, do this and you will feel better, do that. Every now and then I'll give suggestions of things that maybe worked for me, but I don't try to ram anything down your ear canals about, this will help you, this will help you. So I thanked them, and I said, no, you know what, I think I'll have to go in a different direction, but I'm really, really happy for you, and good luck. And coincidentally, there was in my Facebook feed an article from The Mighty, who I've talked about before, themighty.com. It's THEMIGHTY.com. And they're an online community who helps folks with mental illness. They give people a platform to tell their story in written form. They poll their writers and their followers for different things and put out, always trying to help those with mental illness. And this article that came up with 16 small but significant lifestyle changes that help people with depression. And I was fresh off of this email, and I thought, well, if there's small things, let me read through it. Maybe I can put something out on the show or pass on to you guys. Small things. So, I anticipated what some of them were, and we'll get to those in a minute. But I wanted to kind of go through this article with you guys and kind of give you my input on it, on each of these 16 things. We might skip a couple. 16 is a lot. There's a line in there when it's annoying when people swear they have the miracle cure to mental health struggles. The reality is there are day-to-day changes you can make that might help you manage your depression, kind of deal with it. And they qualify it in the heading that the following suggestions are not miracle cures that will automatically vanish any trace of depression from your life. They are real recommendations from real people in our mental health community. So that kind of gives you insight on how they got this, and also what kind of community that they've built in the Mighty, that they've, they put out an ask and they got answers, and they, took the ones that were most common and, threw them together. One thing I think is interesting is in the URL for the article it says depression quick fix is part of the URL, which makes me wonder, what Juliette Verzi, who is the staff writer who put this together, really thinks of these things. Are they quick fixes, or are they just, things that may help along the way, help you manage? So let's get into it, and let me preface this by saying that those of you who are in a deep depression, like I have been many times, I'm sorry. These are probably all going to sound like total, bull cocky to you. And I get that. And, I wish I had something, a magic bullet that I could help you guys with when you're in that situation. And anybody who's just, coming out of a depression or kind of settling down into a depression. Those are the folks who I think some of these things might help make their day seem a little bit better. It's not going to make it all go away, but hopefully make things a little better. The first one is an obvious one that I assumed was to be on here, and it's to let sunlight in. So open up the blinds, and even if you're going to stay in bed all day, see if you can find a way to get up and open the curtains, open the shades, open the blinds, to let sunlight in. And I will do this normally when I get up in the morning for work, or when I get home from work, I guess, because Nora's still sleeping. So, but like this morning, I got up and I opened all the curtains in the room, and because I knew when I came home, I would be less likely to hop into bed if I came in and there was sunlight coming through. And like I said, days when I have just stayed in bed, I have tried my best to get up and open the curtains and be in bed with sunlight coming in the room. It doesn't make me want to get out of bed anymore, really, but it I don't know how to explain it. It makes the possibility of doing something else seem not as gigantic chore. I don't know if that makes sense. Next thing, if you're going to get out of bed in the morning, and I hope you do get out of bed every morning, but I understand that there are days when we don't, and I don't, make your bed when you get up out of it. Some people might say, well, make your bed, you'll be less likely to get into it again. And I say make your bed if you can, because that's your first accomplishment of the day. Something you can look back and say, you know what, I did that. I made the bed. And accomplishments can be contagious. If you get one kind of good thing happening, or, one win as it is, then that it could lean you towards doing something else and then doing something else. And before you know it, half hour has gone by and you've got 3-4 accomplishments under your belt. So yeah, if you get out of bed, go ahead and try to make it and see how you feel after that. Next one, keeping track of positive things that happen. This is one specifically that made me think of when I was in a real bad depressive mood. And even still now, with the way I minimize what other people would call my successes. If a positive thing happens to me, I don't feel it as a positive thing. And so it's hard for me to keep track of those things. But, what they're saying is, like this one person said, they try to write one positive thing that happened each day, put it into a jar, and then as the year goes on, you look and see how full the jar is getting. And, is a kind of reminder that good things can happen. If you look in a half full jar of little Post-it notes, that's could be a good thing for you, right? It could brighten your mood, or at least remind you that, hey, good things do happen, especially on days when it seems like nothing good is happening and everything is against you. Congratulate yourself for little accomplishments. This one seems more like a platitude, which I hate. I don't know. For me, I don't know how to congratulate myself for anything. This kind of goes along with being proud of what you accomplish. And fact is, I don't feel pride in anything that I do. So maybe I'm not the best person to be expressing this one out to you guys. But yeah, so if you make the bed and you can feel good about that is basically how I see this. If you make breakfast, if you're having a really rough week and you get up and take a shower, try to feel good about that and congratulate yourself for that. Sticking to a consistent sleep schedule. Sleep is the most important thing that you can do for your body and your mind. And I know that's hard when we're depressed and we want to sleep all the time, or if it keeps us up at night and we can't sleep. Sticking to a consistent sleep schedule would be ideal if you could say, hey, I go to bed at 9 every night, I get up at 6 every morning. If you can do that, great. If you can't, just try to get your 8 hours a night. And sleep is good, folks. Removing should have statements from your vocabulary. So I should have done this, I should have done that. Geez, I just saw my girl. I went through this. I told you about it last week. I left Charlotte, North Carolina, thinking, I should have told them more that I love them. I should have told them more how proud I am of them. And that doesn't help me. And that's I hear my mom when I think of those things in my head. Like I should have sent you a note. I should have told you X, Y, or Z. And there's what the line, don't should your pants. Don't should yourself. Although don't should your pants sounds a little bit more on point. And that's hard to do. It's years and years and years of neural pathways being, burned into your brain of questioning yourself, questioning what you've done, what you haven't done. So at least think about this. Have a conversation with yourself and try to figure out, do you should have statements that you go through every day, and try to see what that really means to you. And is it of value? If you did a project for school or for work, and then a week later you realize, oh my gosh, geez, I should have included this video that I saw, or darn it, we had spaghetti last night, I should have had some kind of breadstick. That's different than I should have been a better person, right? And that's really what I'm saying when I have these should haves in my brain. Aim to accomplish one thing. I think this is kind of redundant. If congratulate yourself for little accomplishments, get up and make your bed. So this is one that kind of falls in with, could be the next one. So they say meal prepping. And the quote from a person: on okay days, I prep lunches for the week and make meals I can freeze in Ziploc bags so I can still eat on bad days. That's a good idea. if you're one who does that. I know I've done that. After dinner with leftovers, and I put together in a nice container, so the vegetables are separate from the meat. That's separate from the other vegetable, I guess, or the gravy or whatever we might have had. And then if I have a string of bad days, 2, 3 bad days, I end up throwing out that leftovers because I just didn't eat it. Because when my body tells me I need to eat, which is quite often all the time when I'm having bad days, the last thing I want to do is dig out something out of the refrigerator, cook it in the microwave, and eat it. I would rather just eat some bread or eat some bagels, which I had today. Bagels. Something else that's good that you hear a lot, or I hear a lot, is volunteering. And this is, again, is if you're in a situation where you can get out of bed and you can go do things, which I understand isn't everybody. But, 2 things that volunteering will do is it'll help you kind of have one of those good feelings about yourself that you help someone out, but also it gives you some structure to your day. It gives you almost like an appointment that maybe you feel like you don't want to miss because it's volunteering. It's not like going to the dentist or going to pay a bill, right? It's something that is a positive thing to many folks. Then there's express your inner angst creatively, which is kind of what I do with this podcast, what many other people do with blogs or journals or whatever. If you want to do so, try to process what you're going through in some kind of creative way. Maybe you like to draw. Maybe you like to make up jokes. Maybe you like to do the hokey pokey and turn yourself about. But try, if you can, do it. Yeah, I think there should be more. I can do more on that in another episode. I need to get... You know what? Here, this is I'll ask for you guys. If you're someone who has a blog or a journal or whatnot, send me a message and just let me know how it works for you. I don't want to expose your blog to the listening audience. Just let me know how that works for you. I know my friend Kate in Australia, who is having a rough go of it right now, has found lots of resolve and lots of benefit in doing her blog. So, maybe that'll help you. The next one is not a simple thing, and I don't know why it made this list. Number 11 is removing toxic people from your life, which is probably one of the more hard things to do when you're feeling depressed, because that is such a chore, and there's the fear of so much backlash and crap that you would have to put up with from that person. So this is not a simple thing. Maybe when you're feeling better and you can recognize who toxic people may be in your life, and these can be anybody from people who are takers and not givers, so they're always taking and don't give from you, people who put you down, people who abuse you in some way, verbally, sexually, emotionally. Try to get these people out of your life. And again, I understand even when you're feeling just a little bit down, never mind in a deep depression, that just seems like such a hard task. So again, not sure why that one made the list. Laying out clothes the night before. I guess that's kind of a nice thing. It could make your morning a little easier. I do it because I don't want to wake Nora up kind of fumbling around in the bathroom, the closet, in my dresser drawers. So I pick out my clothes the night before. I set them out in the hallway so I can just grab them and go into the bathroom and get dressed every morning. But, if you're getting up and you have to do something in the morning, go ahead, try to pick out your clothes the night before. So it's one less thing you need to worry about in the morning. This is one that's maybe not one that lightens your mood, but I think it avoids something that could kind of bring down your mood. Does that make sense? There's a funny one next, 13, changing your socks. And this is something that is psychological. Change your socks, change your shirt is always something that makes me feel a little bit better, especially now that it's getting warmer and you might, if it's sweated in your shirt that you're wearing right now, your socks are kind of damp from sweating being in your shoes. And that's a nice physical feeling to change your shirt, put on a nice cool shirt, nice cool dry socks. Give it a try. Who knows? repeating a mantra. This one, me personally, this doesn't work for me. This is not one that works for me. This is, platitudes and, fake it till you make it kind of crap. Again, my opinion. So the one mantra that this person, Samantha J, in the article says is, feelings are not fact, final, or fatal. And I like that. And it paints a nice picture, and the alliteration is always fun. But, if that's something that helps you, I've tried it in different ways. The jamoalki thing for my 4 girls. For those of you newer to the show who don't know, jamoalki is the first 2 letters of each of my 4 girls' names, and I put it together, and that's my online persona for the podcast. It's also tattooed on my arm. I've got a hat. I've got exercise shirts that I had made special. So when I'm exercising, I'm reminded of my girls as a way to, make myself better, because I want to be around to see them grow up and go through life's triumphs. But it doesn't work for me. It just doesn't stick. It doesn't help me. Maybe it will for you. Give it a try, maybe, if you like. Making a gratitude log is a hard one, because I guess I don't think of, because the way I think, gratitude is not something that enters my life, really. I am grateful that I have Nora. Absolutely. But everything else is clouded, and it's not fair. But, I should be grateful for my girls and for how wonderful they are. But, every thought of them only brings back I'm a terrible dad and they're so far away, and all the negative things surrounding it kind of clouds everything from making me feel grateful. And last one, unplugging from your phone and computer. That seems to be a kind of a catch-all for lots of people, or anything. If it's a benefit list, you can be sure that unplugging from your phone and computer will do that. I guess, I do spend probably an unhealthy amount of time refreshing the Libsyn page, which is the host for the podcast, to see how many folks have downloaded the podcast this month. Hoping that I got a message from Nora, or, from my girls or something like that. So, yeah, kind of take a long hot shower, listen to music, lay down, take an actual nap. If you're tired, go for a walk, things like that. Yeah, there's the list, folks. Good, bad, otherwise, I don't know. Let me know what you think. Hopefully there's 1 or 2 things in there that hit home for you, and you can try to work into your day or week routines. And again, this, none of these are going to cure your depression or probably make the difference between a horrible day and a great day. But they're just little things that maybe can stave off some of the really badness that comes with our mental illnesses that we're dealing with. So give them a try. I'd love to hear if you guys use any of these. And I'll pick a couple, and next podcast I'll talk about if it helped or what I did. That's going to be about it for today, folks. I appreciate you all listening to me. Let me remind you, you can email me, jamoalki@gmail.com, facebook.com/jamoalki, @jamoalki on Twitter, www.jamoalki.info. That's JAMOALKI. Or you can text me at 248-648-1419. If you have a few minutes and you have the ability, if you could subscribe to the show on iTunes or Google Play Music or wherever you do it, that would be great. And if you could leave a review, that would help out get the show up there a little bit more in search engines, so folks who might be looking for a podcast such as this one can find it easier if they do a search. So that's it for me today, folks. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to listen to me. I'll talk to you next time. Everybody be safe, be well. Thanks.